Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Ian Barker, host of the SmashBros AMA and your navigator through the wonderful and exotic world of Super Smash Bros. During my time as host, we've entertained over a dozen viewers, accumulating some truly memorable conversations in the process. After several glamorous guests, literally no one has asked me, Ian, what are your favorite moments from the SmashBros AMA? To which I reply, it's simple, all of them. However, for this Thanksgiving holiday, I want to recognize my mostest favoritist moments. The ones that make me look back and go, oh, that's a funny joke. We begin our journey with Hungrybox, his love of Perrier and his odds of survival in a Hunger Games type scenario.
To kick off the AMA, the question that's on everyone's mind, of course, did you pay your rent?
Oh shit!
Did you actually forget?
I gotta do that. I think they give me until the end of the month, but because I'm gonna be traveling this weekend and really busy, I'm gonna forget anyway. But I will. I will do that.
Watch the VOD.
I'm so glad that we actually served a practical purpose.
I'm already scrubbing it up, but it's all good. When you live by yourself, you guys understand.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That shit, you just forget about it. But that's all right. At least now you've got a very public reminder of your financial duties to your landlord. Well, moving on to the more meat and potatoes thing, we're going to lead off with a little event that went down this weekend. Of course, you won the MLG New Orleans World Finals. Mewtwo King, your opponent, took a little bit of objection to some comments that you made after that. And so the people want to know. Alan Alonso asks, what do you think about Mewtwo King's responses to your interview?
Honestly,
you wanted a surprise, man. Here it is.
Way worse things have been said in this community, especially by top players in terms of trash talk. I'm Jason's teammate. We have been teaming, since I don't know how long now, maybe 4, almost 5 years, I think, in various events, and we had the greatest double streak of all time, rivaled maybe only by Ken and Isaiah, and that's something we should both be proud of. When I'm in grand finals of national, I'm feeling pretty confident, and I like trolling people. I like trying to be funny. It doesn't always hit, as you guys have seen. But I said it in complete harmony and just complete good fun. Had I known he would have taken that to heart as sort of an offense to his playstyle, I wouldn't have said it. I just thought we were sort of beyond that sort of thing, at least as colleagues in a sense of this game. And then he went on Twitter and as a response to me said that Puff carries me. And I'm like, it's sort of calling the pot calling the kettle black, It's just what I said was in good fun, but I think what he said was sort of very honest and slightly, I think slightly more degrading than me saying, or you want to lose too fast. That's sort of come on, get what you got.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, he's obviously he gets very emotional at times, as do I for various reasons. So I mean, he probably said it in a heated moment, so he probably didn't mean it, and it's all good.
The phrase "Puff carries me" hits me a certain way because there aren't an especially large amount of high-level Jigglypuff players. How do you take the insult towards your character choice that frequently happens?
Well, before I say that, honestly, the immediate response that came to my head when he said that on Twitter, and I wasn't even gonna it was not even honest, but to be funny, I would have said, he said oh yeah, Puff carries you, by the way. Well, I would have said, yeah, well, I carry you in team, so it's fine. I wanted to say that so bad because it's not true at all, but it would have been funny. But again, I couldn't have said it because he would have taken it seriously when it would have been serious at all.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Anyway, okay, you were saying the phrase "Puff carries you" sort of sits badly with you because there's not many top Puffs, sort of thing.
Yeah, and just how you take Puff seems to be generally an insulted character for playing campy and all this various other things that come out of people's mouths. How do you feel about all of that as the Jigglypuff player?
It's she obviously has her faults, right? She's definitely a high-tier character beyond all regards to that sense. But you need to know what you're doing in a lot of different situations, and the only way you can become a better puff is by playing as many high level or top level players as you can. That's why, because I have the ability to travel and I have the means to do so. I have a phenomenal sponsor, by the way. Team Liquid's taking incredible care of me, and I can do that, and it's sort of like I'm getting better as I go along. So the time I put to invest in my skill is now paying off even more so, because I have a higher chance to compete against, Mango, against the Swedes, against Mewtwo King, and the more I play them, the more I figure out. They figure out more about me too, but you need that experience. And I would say that if Puff carries me, then Fox carries the top players against me, then Marth carries you, then FD carries you, then your ability to play multiple characters carries you. It's not like, to me, that's not like a feasible statement to have say a character carries you and not have a character carry you too. Well, I can play the entire cast. That's great. My Fox sucks dick, but doesn't mean that I'm not good at Smash Bros. It's people can be character specialists.
Well, and let's not ignore the fact that when you got a 70-30 matchup going against you, and you make your career based on being able to flip that on its head. That's no small feat. Obviously, you've made a lot of strides in your neutral game. I mean, it's just, it befuddles me to hear the comment that a character at a significant disadvantage from the character in the meta somehow like makes a difference. I don't know. Maybe he was just upset, but at least from a Smash fan's perspective, it is a weird insult to lash out with.
Yeah, but we all say stupid stuff all the time. I certainly have my share of that. Recently, I posted a tweet saying that Smash God was the best Marth I ever played. This guy I lost to on net play, and then I realized that people might have taken that as the best Marth ever, period. But I was referring to me playing on net play, but I didn't say that. And then everyone's like, "What a friggin' idiot you are." So I'm like, okay, you have to be completely transparent with what you say all the time. Yeah. And I totally get that too.
Yeah, it just seems like y'all were on totally different pages here, despite there being no real harm meant by it. So
man. Hopefully, I hope he forgives me. Just the other day we were talking double strategy, so I'm pretty sure we're still teaming. I was scared for a second. I'm like, is he gonna drop me, man? Is he really that mad at me? But no, I think we're good. I hope we're good. But
watch out for the friendly fire, dude.
Yeah.
Sabotage me. We're gonna play Armada Android at DreamHack. He's gonna friggin' kill himself 8 times.
First ever 3-person wombo combo. I love that. Maybe erase that sad memory from Zoo and make a new one. Well, anyway, it's funny because a lot of the questions as we go down the list, a lot of them have to do with your relationship with people. So I don't know what that says about you or
what
about.
A surprise!
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it says a lot about people's perception of you.
I'm just a really shitty person. So.
No, I've met you at tournament 3 different times, and every time been absolutely disgusted. So let's. That's why we exploited this, right? We're a show about drama. So
there we go.
Dappa DC comes at us with our next question and asks, are you and Mango on okay terms? And we'll get to the rest of that question in a second. Ooh. Yeah, dude.
Ooh.
We don't pull punches, man. That's why we're here. The Smash drama machine.
You guys ever had Perrier? You don't. You
a couple times.
You have no idea how meta Perrier is, dude.
You're officially stalling the question.
You're official.
It's so patrician. It's so pretentious. I love it.
You drink it in a powdered wig.
And it's the plastic bottle, so it's that much more fraudulent.
I'm going to take that as your answer in that case.
Can I just answer? I'm going to
answer. You can't. I mean, you can say whatever you want, man. It is your time in the sun.
Perrier H-Bucks. I'm always afraid when I'm drinking certain drinks, like, oh, am I not supposed to do that? I don't know.
So nothing at all about you and Mango, huh? You guys are just.
Oh wait, are we live?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I thought we were on break or whatever. You said after we come right back, right?
No. This is live. This is us, man.
Oh
yeah.
That is pretty fucking funny.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought we were. You guys said we're on
No,
break.
there was the rest of the question. We're just starting off with how do you feel about Mango? How is your current relationship? We heard about you and Perrier.
plug for Perrier, though.
getting
You
right
love
now.
Perrier,
Shit, I
but
can't-
you
all right.
ex Mango. I'm gonna
all
put
right.
it like that.
Sorry, let's rewind.
No.
Let's rewind. All right. To answer the question, and I'll give you a nice answer now too. I was so dumb. I said this in the HC interview, and I said I do have a desire for me and Mango to be friends now. He completely probably doesn't want to. I totally get it, but I think I've gotten definitely beyond our differences at this point, and I've already said I respect him as a player, and I've even started, getting on better terms with I think so with Alex 19, and hopefully Lucky too.
When you say
So-
you get it, why would he hate you? Like, what is the story behind that, or not hate you, but not want to be friends? Like, what's the
There's multiple reasons. We're first and foremost just very, very different people, just completely polar opposites as personalities. And we had the whole issue with the Reddit AMA where I called him out on sort of his behavior towards me. But then, at the same time, my behavior in general as a competitor wasn't the most savvy either. Not towards him, just in general. I don't know. At this point, I'm willing to say like we both definitely made mistakes in the past, if not to each other, if maybe in general. But I think we've grown up. We've had our share of life experiences, and it's. I'm beyond ready to move past it, honestly. And
Jinta Beast asks, if you and the other Melee top players got thrown into the Hunger Games, who would win? It's the hard-hitting stuff, man. We don't mess around here.
all right, if we all got thrown in Hunger Games, all right. I think how like they show the first 10 minutes of the scene, they'll drop into that big. I think the second one had that big like water one with all the water platforms and all that, like in the big center hub. I think like immediately knowing people, I think Mango would grab the biggest gun that there was there and a few knives and just go in the first person that he saw. And if I was next to him, I am so fucked. But like immediately, I'm dead. Like I'm not even like out, because what I would do? I would be the kind of guy that'd be like try to as quickly as I can group people together with me in a team. And see, like, can I trust you? Can we work together on this? And and then I get stabbed immediately.
So who's on your team?
Yeah, that's the real question. Who do you ally with?
Is it only us six?
Your
on the
career's
field?
done after
No,
this,
you
by
got to
the way.
factor in because Ken was on Survivor, so he's
Okay,
there. Obviously,
I'll go with Ken because Team Liquid.
Sure.
And I'd be like, yo, I'd do that, and then I would try to pull perhaps Armada because I think he's very intelligent. But no one wanted to be on my team. I'm more of like, definitely if we were like picking teams like dodgeball for Hunger Games, I'd be the last pick for sure because I can't run very far without just like heaving, and I get hungry pretty easily. Like not even a pun. I need food a lot, and not super athletic. And let's be honest, man, I would be the kind of guy that's be like, guys, let's set up a camp over there. Let's camp for a bit.
You're the guy in the training who's learning how to do the camouflage and stuff. You're learning how to paint realistic tree bark on your face, right?
Exactly. Like, there's no point in going in and fighting, man. We're all dead anyway. Let's wait it out, man. Let's have some chicken or something like that.
Kumbaya, boys.
Yeah.
All right.
I get wrecked for sure. I think the winner of the entire thing would be PPMD.
I could see that.
He would
I could see that.
run. He would grow a beard, a white beard to his feet, and walk with a cane. There would be like knives flying and bullets in the first scene. He would just be walking with a cane, and they would all just miss him, right? And he'd walk into like the mountains or the jungle.
You just get away unassuming. I could see that.
And then everyone would die, and the big announcer would come down and be like, Kevin Nanny, you are the winner. And then Kevin would say something like mad, prophetic, and poetic, like, in reality, we have all lost. And then like credits, right? And then like he doesn't actually get saved. He chooses to stay in the jungle. You know what I mean? Like,
is it unethical to make this a reality? Would I be under the Geneva Convention? Is it because I want to see this happen? I want to see how this all unfolds.
if instead of guns and knives in real life, if we had water balloons, I'd be super down.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, water balloons in a huge ass arena. And then what would Mewtwo King do in the Hunger Games? Mewtwo King would be the kind of guy. He would be like whoever. Okay, no, I know Jason would definitely try to do the same thing I was doing, like team up with people like sort of create a little coalition. Like, I'll help you out for sure. I will for sure. And it'd be like day 43, and he'd be there like, okay, dude, Hungry Box always goes for those berries. He always goes for those berries. Hungry Box berries is a 0-100 matchup. And then Armada would be on the team. Armada would be like, Jason, what the fuck? It would be so funny. God, I would pay just to see that.
Jason strikes me as the kind of guy that would be like what was the guy in the second movie who like wired everything together and like tried to electrocute the ocean. That's Jason. Yeah, that's him.
And the scene in the Hunger Games where it's like, oh, is that supposed to be like some kind of crazy magnetic thing? And the scientists are like laughing, like it's the most basic science and electromagnetics sort of thing. I think it's like, Jason, is that a gun right there? What'd you build? He's like, what are you, some kind of a scrub kid? I could imagine it happening.
This is absolutely beautiful.
You'll have a career writing movie scripts next.
Leffen would complain immediately there's not enough guns. Where are my guns? Where are my knives?
He'd ask which one's the best gun and then use that one exclusively.
I am the top seed here. Where are my guns?
I agree, Hungry Box. Martin Lawrence has done an incredible job on the Hunger Games. But we're not just about pitting the working class against one another for blood sport here on the AMA. We also like to talk about Smash. Here's Westballs talking about his drive to become the best.
Moving on to our next question. The next one comes from Grandpa Seth 18. Grandpa Seth 18 asks a very serious question that's on everyone's mind. Have you ever actually shined someone so much they started crying?
Actually, I think so.
Shut up. You can't be serious.
No, I'm actually like dead serious. But I'm not sure if it was actually because of the shining, but I definitely like multi-shined so much. Like back, I think like maybe 3 years ago when I was first like starting to get good, like I was like very BM because I was just young and dumb. So I think I was playing against like this guy that like it was maybe one of his first tournaments, and like I completely destroyed him like really badly with the same move over and over, and they were shines, of course, and someone told me after that, like he would like walked away and he was like really, really sad, and like he might have was crying, and I actually felt really bad. And like ever since then, I wasn't as like I wouldn't be like that BM like beat someone like really badly with one move. Like it was really like awful of me to do, but I think it actually happened, and I felt really bad, so I never did it again.
No, was he crying because you beat him so bad?
I'm not sure if he was actually crying. Someone just said he like walked off really, really sad, but like the person also said like he looked like he was about to cry. So I felt like really bad.
He was crying, and you made him quit Smash.
You made him quit Smash. You destroyed a player's dream that day. How does that feel?
I didn't mean to. I was young and dumb.
In your defense, maybe he was crying because your play was so beautiful.
He was so happy to play with you, dude.
Yeah, he was just weeping because he got to play with his favorite player. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe, yeah. We'll call it that.
That sounds like a better narrative to me. You were I love okay, so every guest we have on this show attracts different questions. Like when we had a guy like Zoo, we got a lot of technical questions. When we had PPMD, a lot of it was when are you coming back. You've got a lot of people are throwing shade your way. Like I'm really enjoying these questions. June Juice asks, you play so damn well that people think you're on Adderall. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I guess it's flattering in a sense. I definitely don't do Adderall. Like, I've actually had people come up to me at tournaments after like the like joke started to come up. Mm-hmm. Like, actually asked me like, "Hey, do you have Adderall? Do you sell any Adderall?" I'm like, "Dude, come on." Like, that's just a joke. Come on, dude. Like, why, dude? Like, why are you asking me this stuff? Like, I don't fly across the country to sell Adderall to people at tournaments. Like, so I guess it's flattering in a sense, but I don't know. I guess it's just like a funny joke people like to like talk about. So I just roll with it.
Does that ever do you ever take that personally though? Like, I mean, like you're working hard. Like that's on you. Do you ever get like maybe a little bit frustrated that people are like, okay, clearly this isn't your hard work. Clearly this is the work of pharmaceuticals.
The thing I think about is like, it's not about like undermining whatever I had done. It's just turning something bad into a joke, I guess. So like I was accused of doing Adderall, and then now people turned it into a joke. So I think it's actually a good thing that like it's not actually like, oh, like people were taking it seriously, and like people are like, oh, Westball actually does that, or like the people just think it's a joke. So I mean, I feel like it has no effect on like the way I think of like it being bad. So I don't know. I just think it's just a joke. So I just roll with it.
Well, all kidding aside, you said that you exercise, and it's become a big trend in chess and even in Street Fighter with Daigo to take good care of yourself before a tournament. Do you have like a routine the Thursday before you fly out, and how hard do you go on Friday night?
The funny thing is, like, I haven't been exercising as much because I've been traveling so much. So like I've kind of just been lazy and just been like cooped up in like hotels and like other people's houses and stuff like that. But basically I just I don't really have a routine. I just do like what I feel like I should do, and that's usually basically working out for an hour or an hour and a half, like every 2 or 3 days, and then maybe like exercising, like running or like biking, like maybe once or twice a week. So it's just I normally do those two things, and however I feel, I just do it.
So just enough to keep the blood pumping, enough to keep you active and get away from the controller for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
I'm definitely really skinny, but I think that's because I've been exercising all my life, so I think that's why I'm so skinny. People think like, oh, Wes is like really skinny, he just doesn't eat. Like, no, I definitely eat a lot, but I definitely exercise a lot. So
yeah, people are making a lot of judgments, but I mean, you're on Adderall, you don't eat, man. Like,
well, you get judged for being just who you are. So if you're like fat, people make fun of you for being fat. And if you're skinny, it's just what happens. Like if you're in the public eye, people just always are gonna try to poke fun at you. So
see, that's why I work really hard to be mediocre at a lot of things, and then fly under the radar. Nobody makes fun of you. That's how it
yeah,
works. It's just maybe if you're worse at Smash.
People are also really nice though. People are very encouraging, and they're like, "Oh, you're my favorite Falco." So there's definitely a lot. I feel like there's a lot more nicer people. They're like, "Oh, you encouraged me to play Falco. You're so inspiring." There's definitely a lot of nice people in this Smash community.
Well, I'm glad you brought up your talent with Falco, because that's actually where our next question is coming from. Lumpy Loom asks, Lumpy Loom, a regular contributor to the show. Lumpy, good to see you on the show again. You're obviously a very talented Falco, yet you never quite get the W with any majors. What do you think are some things you need to do to get major winnable play?
I've definitely been getting closer and closer and closer, but as of recently, Armada has been really tough. So I think I've been having I have to set a game plan for like each of the top players, because normally when I go through a bracket, I don't like prepare for each opponent. I just prepare just in general, I guess. I just play I just warm up. So I think once I have like a game plan for all the top players, I think that's when I'll start seeing a lot better results, or I'll start getting even closer than I have been. Even though I got like second at Sandstorm this year, where 5 gods attended, I still think I can still do better and take a W. So once I figure out all the top players and get some like a feeling for how they play, I'm definitely gonna have a game plan for a big major, and definitely gonna reveal it.
How does the term God make you feel? I mean, do you feel like it's too much? Do you feel like you're going to encroach on that? Does it make you want to become one of them, or do you think it's nothing at all? Like, what does that mean to you? Because it's become a big deal.
I think it's just a name put on a player that has done really well. So I think, let's say there's 6 gods. There's 6 players that have done really, really well. and that's all I think about it. So basically, I just feel like, wait, I forget what the initial question was.
Oh, it was his initial question?
Yeah, his
Okay.
question.
Do you drive to become one of the gods, or would you rather just ignore it and win the next tournament? I mean, how do you feel you
so
fit into the
basically,
picture?
Yeah, I basically just think it's a name for like a player who's done really good. So I guess I'm still trying to win. So I'm definitely trying to beat them all. And whatever they call me after is whatever they call me. So I think I definitely will eventually get there. I think it's just going to take some experience, some game planning, some preparation, and some hard work. And that's what I plan on doing.
I think the funny thing about the idea of godhood, though, is like there's this. I think really that the core of it, there's this idea of like invincibility. The gods have won all the Evos. They've won most of they've won a lot of the big tournaments, things like that. And so it seems almost like a nebulous term. Like if you were to win like 3 or 4 tournaments in a row, would you be a god? And if so, would it, what happens when you lose the next one? Is it gone? It almost seems like a term that's developed over time to describe players, but will there be any more quote unquote gods that dominate as much as they do for a long time?
Will there be? That's hard to say, but I'm definitely trying to be one of those players. Basically, I definitely think anyone has the chance to become the best. Like, if you work hard enough, I think anyone can be the best at the game. So if you ask me, do you think can there be another person that can do it? Of course. But is someone going to put all that time and effort? I don't know. We'll see. So it just takes a lot of time and effort.
Okay, so follow me down the rabbit hole here, right? Let's assume that the 6 gods are like the 6 best players in Smash, right? As determined by tournament placements, right?
Yeah.
You have yet to finish outside the top 6 in a tournament this year, except for Evo. But even Mango had like a 15th place finish or 16th place finish earlier this year. So, I mean, you could easily make the argument that you're one of the top 6 Smashers in the world right now. I mean, am I wrong? Does math check out?
Not necessarily, because it all depends on the players you beat. So for me to get top whatever I got at those tournaments, I didn't beat like Hungry Box or Mewtwo King or like I've beaten Mango once, and that was just at a local. So no, I actually beat him twice. I actually beat him at Sandstorm. All right, so
God.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're officially a god. Congratulations.
That Westballs, always talking about something. Well, you'll want to take a sip before watching our next guest. A man whose personality can turn even the simple act of imbibing liquids into a droll catchphrase.
Grand HC asks, what's your opinion on Anti bringing out that Wii Fit trainer in top 8? By the way, that Anti's whole run, if our viewers at home didn't see it, Anti's whole run was unbelievably hype. So if you haven't seen the VODs, go to VG Bootcamp, check those out. Your thoughts on the Wii Fit trainer from Anti at the tournament?
I thought it was terrible. That's the worst idea. Like, I didn't see him play Wii Fit Trainer outside of the top 8, and when he decided to do that, and I was like, all right, like maybe you're trying to prove that you're the best Wii Fit Trainer, and we all do. Like most of us think you are. It's between him and John Numbers, but right now is not the time to prove it. We need you to beat 0, so you need all 3 of your games. But at the same time, you think about it like this: Nairo gave away the first set when he played against 0, but he didn't really give it away. I think he used that as a way of calming himself down. Or like assessing what 0's going to do, or just ruling out like the janky matchup, and that's probably what Anti tried to do with the one game that he used Wii Fit Trainer as well. He was like, okay, I'm just going to try this and see where it goes, and he managed to get a stock. That was cool. But then the next few games he ended up doing quite well with his Mario, and same way that it went to game 5 with on the second set with Nairo. Because of he used the first set to see what his other characters could do, and then he was like, all right, time to buckle down and play ZSS and win this tournament. And I mean, he didn't win, but he was very close. And so, like, I think that's what both of them try to do. They wanted to calm themselves down by using a little joke character and then going into the rest of the set or the next set, with full confidence.
I don't mean to put Anti on blast, but pulling out something janky like that when you're up against Zero, you got a shot at ending the run. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, if you're going to experiment, let's do it at Xanadu, right? Let's do it at a place where there's some good players. But against Zero, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, Zero's a good player.
He's a pretty good player.
So he counts, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay, if it's me, when I face Zero in the loser semis of a tournament, which is going to happen with King DDD, I don't know if I'm going to throw out something that experimental in that moment. I mean, my opinion.
I'll remember that when you do it, when you fight Zero.
When I pull out Wii Fit Trainer against Zero. I mean, your thoughts on that, though. Would love to hear your input as a commentator. How do you feel about people pulling out something, to use your words, janky in the middle of a tournament, especially when there's so much online? Are you a fan, or do you think that's just a waste of a game every time?
Well, and why do you think they do it?
Fair question.
I appreciate it if like your first character is like getting just utterly destroyed. Like because most of the time when you see it, it's either the first game or the last game. And like if your first character, say in a 3 out of 5, okay, your first character gets destroyed, like you get double 2 stocked or like double like 1 stocked and like 10%. Obviously that character's not going to work in the third game, so now you need to try something else. And like I appreciate the fact that people are actually willing to go above and beyond and see maybe it's this character that's going to work this time or whatnot. I do appreciate that, especially from a commentator standpoint, because you like to see variety among top level play, and that's just bringing more variety. Even if you get bodied again, like at least you brought something new to the tables so we can talk about more things. So yeah, I appreciate it. Against Zero, I don't know how much I appreciate it. You probably should be trying your best all the time. But like in other situations, if you're just getting bodied and it's like, okay, well, let me see what this like say my Wii Fit Trainer gets, like I'm in a 3 out of 5, my Wii Fit Trainer gets bopped for the first 2 games. Then I'll pull out like Marth or like Doc or something like that, because like I need to try something new, because obviously the Wii Fit Trainer's not working. So
makes sense. I mean, and we've seen it, almost work in the past. I believe it was it Mr. R versus MVD? That he pulled out the Ryu, and and he nearly took the set back on some just incredible setups. Yeah, so I think that it's cool, definitely, because it feels like there's a lot of ground to cover in Smash 4 before we get to like 20XX mode with this game. So I think it's cool to see. Jared did also have a follow-up question. Why do you think people do that? Is it a psychological thing? Is it just maybe they think it can catch them off guard? I mean, it's
mostly a psychological thing. Once you get beat. You get beat pretty bad, like you just don't have no faith in that character that you were already using, so it's just time for you to try something new. A lot of people do that. A lot of people will try, like their secondary first or whatever, and if their secondary gets beat or if the game is really close, then they'll switch to their main because they don't want to lose, and that's just it's all psychological, basically.
Gotcha. So who do you like? Who's your jank pick in a tournament? Who do you pull out?
I mean, my jank pick is my main, dude. I play Wii Fit Trainer. like it's already jank from the get go. But as of late, I've been using a lot of as far as secondary, I've been using a lot of Kirby and Doc, and every now and then I'll use Marth. But I think Kirby is my new jank pick as of late. That character is very unexplored. But I think he's good. So I think people should definitely try to get some more Kirby gameplay in there. I know I have been trying to, and the last time, I think the jankest I've ever picked in tournament, just to mess around, was Toon Link. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So you have a jank pick and a jankier pick.
Jankier
Kirby.
And then a jankiest pick.
Jankiest is Toon Link, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. Yeah, it's weird. Like, that's another thing I actually wanted to mention, just while we're talking Smash for a second. What the hell happened to Kirby? Like, kid got in the gym, took some steroids. Like, I feel like, he was a joke of Melee, and I have this mental association, like, well, that's Kirby, he can't do shit. And then suddenly, like, I'm getting bodied by him. What is new about that character that makes him so strong?
Well, they fixed his hitboxes and his like kill power. But Kirby, generally, you can play Kirby the same way in every game and be successful, because nothing has really changed from 64 to Smash 4 except for him gaining an extra move and his neutral air being switched over. Because the neutral air used to be a kick, and then his up air used to be the pinwheel. But now in every game after that, the neutral air was pinwheel. And like he's just bad in melee. But if you were going to be successful with Kirby, you will play him exactly like you play him in every other game. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting how far down that character was to how far up he is now. I feel like my theory was Kirby was actually good at melee, and right before that game was released, Sakurai pissed someone off. So because like Kirby is Sakurai's invention. So like right before that game came out, that guy went in there like the night before it was released and just recoded the shit out of Kirby, and was just like, we're gonna put this out. So when it goes out, it's too late for anyone to like fix it because it's already out on the shelf, and we're just like, all right, man, we got a terrible Kirby player now. And ever since then, Sakurai was the last person to touch the game before Kirby went out, so that never happened again. That's why Meta Knight was probably so good in Brawl, and that's why Kirby is still good in both Brawl and Smash 4.
Turning from a gumball with biceps into just a straight gumball, right?
Yeah.
Right, first we had Montezuma's Revenge, now Sakurai's Revenge.
Sakurai's Revenge. I love it.
That's how Kirby goes.
Moving on to our next question, we've got Shiny Chespin asks, how did the whole "I gotta take a sip" saying start? And then after that, what is your Wii Fit trainer dream buff?
Oh my god! All right, so the whole "I gotta take a sip" thing started because I was watching. We were commentating. It was me and Kataro. We were commentating the Professor Pluro and Rolex money match, and after he popped off and whatever, like I popped off, but I was actually thirsty, so I was like, I need to take a sip, and for some reason that caught on as like that's my catchphrase now. I'm like, no, like I'm actually thirsty. My throat is dry. I'm parched. I would like to take a sip of this drink, and that's how that caught on. So like now, anytime something happens, if I ever say I got to take a sip of anything, everyone, oh, he said it! And I'm like, no, it's not my catchphrase at all. If anything, it would have been like big damage or get bodied or my two catchphrases to me. So
can you imagine how different your life would be if you would you would stood up and been like, I got to take a shit? Like that would be like, that's like your comment.
Or my hands are numb. Wow.
I gotta itch my balls,
okay,
something like that.
Like that's a thing now. But yeah, that happened to be a thing, and it's caught on, and people still to this day will walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, TK Breezy," and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then I gotta take a sip, and like I'm taking like 4 or 5 seconds to like register like what there's, and I'm like, "Oh, I get it," because I said, "Shut the hell up," but like that's the thing. So it's all good. As far as my Wii Fit, my dream Wii Fit buff, I just want down throw in the back air. I don't really care too much for anything of her other moves. Like she just has janky hitboxes, and like I'm used to it. But the fact that she doesn't get anything after a throw after like 20% is so annoying. So down throw, me being able to act out of down throw faster would be my dream buff for Wii Fit.
I love it. Yeah, I played the character. I honestly say I cannot get Wii Fit Trainer to work. What is the secret there, man? Why is that character so weird? I do not get it in the slightest.
With that character, you gotta throw things, and then you gotta neutral air things, and then you just run around like an idiot. And eventually, someone will commit to something that you can punish, and that's pretty much how I play that character.
That sounds. I prefer the giant penguin with a hammer. That's simplicity for me. You just bop things. Now I want to go back to this concept of you got to take a sip, because I think that speaks to a larger concept in your casting career, and that's just the fact that because if you watched, I believe it was Paragon. Was Paragon the 5 glasses pushes with you and Sky?
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, it feels like damn near anything could be your catchphrase right now, because your personality for days. And so, is it just that you pour so much enthusiasm into whatever you're saying that you could be like, it's 70 degrees outside, and people could be like, oh shit, TK with another,
My catchphrases are it's a lot of pop culture stuff, to be honest, where like, cause we have like an inner circle, me, Coney, and Pink Fresh, where a lot of things happen where like they bounce off, and that's where we start saying that. So like, as of right now, like, one of the things that we say a lot is like if music is good, we say that joint goes, instead of like it's like that's a good song, or and back in the day it used to be that shit slaps. And so like I carry a lot of the things that just happen in regular life for me into commentary, because it's easy to relate to. Like these are things that happen to people too. So like they'll understand like even if someone who's not watching or who doesn't understand much about Smash should probably be able to get it. Like I have one thing that I made up like a long time ago. It's called the Sour Patch combo, and it's like if you use the same move, but like the first hit that you hit with that move was the sour spot, and then the next hit you hit with that move was a sweet spot. Much like the commercial where it's like first it was sour, then it was sweet, and like people get that. People got that like immediately. You know, they're like, oh, I get it. You know, Sour Patch combo, and like so stuff like that happens all the time. And I just find another way to bring it into Smash. I mean, I think my personality helps because I couldn't imagine me saying that like in a very like low monotone voice and that catching on. But yeah,
Look at that
So-
Sour Patch combo, right, guys?
Yeah,
that
that
sounds
nice
pretty
Sour
shitty.
Patch combo.
I'm gonna need to take a sip after that banging interview. Up top. Of course, not every moment of the R Smash Bros. AMA can be savored. Some gems come and go faster than a Marth combo on Final Destination. Here's a look at the quick hits that tickled our funny bone.
You know, not to belabor the point too much, but I remember seeing you at Evo the first day we were talking about this before we went live, and there was an individual who was standing with you who nearly passed out, hyperventilating because he was so excited to meet you. You know,
you know what the problem was? He just couldn't get all the Craigasms out fast. he just overloaded.
it was the living manifestation of Craigasm.
In person, it's
Yeah,
more difficult to
poor guy.
spam Craigasm.
Yeah, it's harder to spam Craigasm in real life,
Yeah.
especially in public. I think that gets you arrested. Anyway,
What does it mean to you, Ian? Spamming Craigasm. What is the translation of that to
you
you?
know, I can honestly say I've never spammed Craigasm
I hope
either
not.
in person or in a Twitch chat.
Keep it to yourself.
I'll have,
Okay,
to, give it,
that's
I'll have to
enough.
give it a try sometime. Maybe
That's
it's habit
enough.
forming.
No, we're
anyway,
good.
A lot
Yeah.
of fun online, I'll tell you that. Right.
I'll have to give it a shot. This next question is kind of perplexing to me because I watched the Smash Summit. I wasn't aware of what happened here, but Ninja Penguin 5 wants to know what happened between you and Mango at the summit.
Are we esports?
We're for this question. We're not esports yet. We're
All right. So I was just laying. We were in a hotel room. It was Armada, Shroomed, PPU, Mango, me, Smoke Two Joints, and we were. I don't know. We were just chilling. They were playing Melee, and Mango. A lot of people were drinking. I was not drinking. And I think I was just kind of antagonizing Mango a little bit, and he just started fighting me. Like he just jumped on top of me and started. So there's this linguini they do in SoCal, so where they just punch your legs until until you give up. And so we were going at it for a while, and it was going even for a cool minute. And then he somehow got on top of me, and Mango, you need to lose some weight, man, because I could not get him off of me. He was just so big, and then eventually, Pew Pew and Dewan or Shroomed had to pull him off because we were kind of close to a table corner, and so if they had given me more time, I totally could have gotten him off, but they just called it for safety reasons.
and then you wave shine up tilted him out the window. that would have been the finisher to end it all.
SPAC confirmed Fox.
So basically, what you're telling me is that Mango picked on you like your big brother.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fair
Pretty much.
enough.
And we kind of have that long history with each other where it's that big brother small brother rivalry. So it's nothing new really.
At any point, did he ask you why you were hitting yourself? 'Cause that's critical.
No. He could barely talk. He was so drunk.
We've got another question. This one comes from Banjo Story, who asks, I get the feeling there's a story here. Did H-Box say anything to you after you beat him?
No, he didn't. He shook my hand and walked out the venue. and then I looked on Twitter and he was being like super salty. I was so happy I beat him. The reason why I was happy is because he beat me in PM. And then he stood up and did his Hungry Box finger and shouted and slammed the table. And I was just like, I have to accept it. Like, I can't. He won, I can't. And straight away, I was like, I'm going to beat you in Melee. And like, in my mind, I didn't say that to him, obviously. But I was watching his videos in preparation. I was actually more worried about S2J, who I had if I beat Hungry Box afterwards, than the Hungry Box. Like, I knew I could beat Hungry Box, but as soon as he beat me in PM and he popped off, I was just like, I want to take you out. Yeah, but he didn't say. I think he did congratulate me later on in the day, so he didn't like just not say anything. But as soon as I beat him, he just shook my hand. Even if you watch it, you can see in the video, you can see him slowly walking out the door. Like, so he didn't say anything to me after.
Roy Quai asks, what was going through your head that time when wife said that both Samuses having their charge shot makes his butthole pucker?
Okay, I got to go back in time for this one. I'm going way back.
Yeah.
This has to be maybe, I'm trying to think what year it was. Maybe 20, well, this goes back to Pound 5, actually, now I think about it. Pound 5 was my first time ever commentating with wife, and actually, I think one of the first times I commentated with D1. And at one point, there's a match, I believe, Hungry Box. Maybe Hungry Box? Not sure, but I just remember the match was on, it was on Rainbow Cruise. And of course, you know, all the LGBTQ imagery with rainbows and whatnot. And, you know, I'm fully out. Wife is married to a lovely woman. And at one point, not that point, but he asked me at one point, would you like to join me on this rainbow cruise? I'm just like, I'm still closeted right now. I don't want to out myself. I'm just going to ignore it as best as I can. So I had that kind of background with wife. Like, I'm afraid he'll say something that will be taken the wrong way. And that happened at that very moment. And I'm just like, you know, at this point, I'm out in the community. Anything I say can and will be used against me. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. So I did that. And I think a lot of people kind of took it as a joke just because I was quiet during the entire thing. I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react. I don't know. You know, I generally don't talk about puckered buttholes and, you know, some people.
You and me both, brother.
It's absolute garbage trash. Like you will throw your ugly napkins after you're done eating like chicken wings, and you will just put them in the trash. That was where Dr. Mario belonged, in my opinion. But now I saw Naruto do some stuff against ESAM, take him out at MLG, and then I started playing Dr. Mario. I almost won a regional tournament in Chicago going Dr. Mario. So Dr. Mario is actually much better than I thought. So I was pretty misinformed in there. Then I used to think Mewtwo was trash, but then Mewtwo does really good against Luigi. So then he's not trash anymore. But then I used to think like Lucina was trash, right? Even though I play Lucina. But then at the same time, Lucina has like been buffed all over the place. She has range, she has power, she has a decent recovery. So then she obviously she's not trash. But then I look at the roster and I'm like, okay, Wii Fit Train is trash. But then she got buffed a lot, and she's obviously much better than people think. And then I'm like, oh god, so who's bad? Okay. Then I'm thinking, okay, Charizard sucks. And then I realized, hold on, he got buffed like 3 times, so he's not trash anymore. And then
someone's got to be trash, Zero.
But that's what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, Ike used to be trash. Like, he used to be like the worst character in 3DS, but now he's being buffed. Like every single patch is being buffed, every single one, on like very cool ways. So now he's not trash anymore. He's good. So it's like I'm looking at the roster, and the only character I can see that is bad maybe is Ganondorf. But I don't want to say Ganondorf is bad, because if Ganon hits you 2 times, you die. And I don't know.
No, that last clip always gets me, whatever I chose to put in there. Well, folks, it's been a joy hosting your weekly AMA thread. Here's to another 100 episodes, and remember, you can't spell Smash without friendship. We'll see you next time. On a more serious note, guys, thank you so much for coming around and being in the chat, asking questions, and just watching the show every single week. We're looking forward to doing another year of this show, and we hope you'll be around to join us. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll catch you next time.